What do I want to say? A lot of what has really been frustrating me about this process is there's a whole lot of like logistical stuff that's sort of getting to me and bugging me a bit, which is, you know, maintaining schedule and integrity, forthcomingness in communication and all that sort of stuff. And as I mentioned, getting to know people, you start to learn how they function and how they operate. So basically, just to sort of be like transparent, we've had a lot of absences at rehearsals. We've had a lot of late arrivals. We've had a lot of, you know, dancers trying to manage things that occur to them, like an injury or illness or having a life crisis kind of moment. And I'm not used to managing that. I'm used to people just sort of showing up, pushing it down, digging deep.
Part of the work this year for me has been to investigate what's called site-specific choreography. And you just experienced some of that coming in tonight. So the dancers interacting with the space.
I had been trying to be patient and really open and honest about supporting the dancers and really, as I'm trying to get to know them, trying to also lay out what my expectations are. And there was a really challenging Thursday evening rehearsal. I had planned, one dancer was going to be finishing a yoga certification or something, and so she had told me in advance that she wasn't going to make it. So I had 5 dancers, and we were in my plan, and I was prepared for us to work on a quartet. One dancer was a casted understudy in that section. And the night before, I heard from the dancer, and she said, "Oops, I actually mixed up the dates, and I will be there." So I thought, okay, well then we're going to work on the closing sextet, a section for 6 dancers. So I started getting my brain together around all of that. And then the night before rehearsal, one dancer said, "Oh, I have an injury and I need to go to a doctor's appointment. And the only time I can make an appointment is during rehearsal on Thursday night." So I thought, okay, shift my plan again. And then about 3 or so hours before rehearsal that Thursday, I heard from another dancer who said, "I'm ill, I'm not coming." So within the course of 2 days, I had to reshift my plan and reshift my thinking several times. And that impacts the work, it impacts the rest of the dancers, and I was not happy about it. And so I had to really kind of dig deep for myself and think, you know, what is this really about?
As a choreographer, this is our 6th season in New York, and all of my previous performances have had a roof on them. We have always been indoors. We have always had lights, sound equipment built into a space. So this has truly been a growing experience for me as an artist, and it has pushed me unbelievably far outside of my comfort zone.
What can I do about this? Like, this isn't working. And that Saturday we had a rehearsal, and some of the dancers were not prepared with what the movement, the pieces that we were going to be working on, that I had prepared them in advance. And I was sort of, I came to a bit of a breaking point, and I thought, we need to have a sit down, we need to talk. And so I scheduled some one-on-one conversations with each of the dancers, and since then it has been, you know, a beautiful transformation in our approach to rehearsal each week. So I was able to give some really honest feedback to each of them about what's working, what's not, to comment on things, you know, related to the logistics, like, do you arrive on time? Can I rely on you? Do you know what you're doing? But then to also give them critical feedback about their movement, like what are the things that they're doing that is really successful in the repertory, and what's missing.
How do we acclimate and accommodate and create the work to facilitate and support the specific site that we are a part of? And so last summer, that was a huge, huge eye-opening experience for me. And you're sort of seeing that put into practice here tonight.
And one of the dancers said, Marissa, where do you see Ballaro dance in 5 years? Like, what is all this about? And I had a moment where I could really communicate to them and say, like, this is what I want to do with my life. That this is a critical turning point for me, that I want to be not only making work as an artist and presenting it, but I want to be touring, and I want to be, teaching in different university settings, and I want to be doing all of these different things through this lens of Ballaro dance.
As a choreographer, that is part of my goal. Whether you're in a performance with me, in a class with me, if you're one of my students or one of my dancers, it's really essential that I invite you to be part of my community and invite you to be part of the Ballaro dance family. So I am elated that you are here this evening.
Crisis happens and things happen, but think about all the what coulds and all the might happens and solve the problems before they even start. And so we spent a lot of time talking about what are the knowns and what are the unknowns. And we have to be diligent about managing the knowns so that when the unknowns creep up, then we have the time and the space and the energy to manage them. One of the dancers emailed me the other day. She's working with another choreographer, and we were talking about an August performance date that she may have with this other artist. And I said, well, is there a Thursday night technical rehearsal? Because I want to know in advance if you're not going to be there. And she said, well, this other choreographer is not as planful as you. And I wrote back and said, well, that's kind of funny, because I think on my tombstone it will say, here lies Marissa, she was planful.